Y'all better watch out for Oklahoma this season. Oklahoma is a really dangerous team coming into 2025. I know they had a really disappointing first season in the SEC, but year two in the SEC, they're going to shock a lot of people this year because they got a new quarterback that they got out of the transfer portal from Washington State named John Mateer. And I'm going to be honest, I'm really jealous that Oklahoma got him over my Miami Hurricanes because I really wanted Miami to get this dude. John Mateer is an absolute stud. Not only did he account for 44 touchdowns last season at Washington State playing with nobodies, but he plays a lot like Bo Nix. Really athletic, has a really strong arm, really accurate, throwing the football downfield, working the quick passing game. And he follows his offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, from Wazoo to Norman. And John Mateer has the capability to have the same impact for the Sooners that Ken Ward had for the Hurricanes last season, because he's one of those players that just can elevate the entire team and he can elevate a program. And going into this season already, John Mateer, to me, is the best quarterback in the SEC at the moment, at least proven quarterback. We don't know how good Arch Manning is going to be, and I'll take John Mateer over Lenore Sellers and DJ Lagway and Garrett Nussmeier. And I expect John Mateer to be a Heisman finalist, and for him to have Oklahoma competing for a spot in the SEC championship and possibly being a playoff team, because you guys got to remember this. The biggest problem with Oklahoma last season was the offense. They had a bunch of injuries. As soon as they got out of fall camp, they were down like 2 or 3 of their top receivers. They had injuries on the offensive line. The play calling wasn't good, but the defense played outstanding. The defense played at a championship level. And we know that Brent Venables is going to have that side of the football playing at an elite level. Now you just have to get the offense right. And by bringing in John Mateer, Oklahoma has already improved their win total by +3 wins. They should easily be no worse than a 9-win team this season with how good John Mateer is. This is a quarterback that has the capability of being able to be a potential first-round pick in the NFL draft. If you look at what John Mateer was able to do at Washington State despite not having a lot of great talent around him, and you think about what he's going to do with Deion Burks coming back and him having a better supporting cast around him, plus him once again being in the same system that he already is familiar with that led him to have so much success his first year as the starter at Wazoo, I'm quickly expecting for Oklahoma to have one of the biggest turnarounds in college football in 2025. I still believe in Brent Venables. I'm not selling any of my Brent Venables stocks. With the way that college football is, you're going to have a down season every once in a while. Oklahoma has such a strong NIL backing, and when you think about the history of this program, it's really unlikely that we see the Sooners have another season like they had in 2024 again. John Mateer changes everything for the Sooners this year. You're getting somebody who is a great playmaker. He's really good at making things happen when the protection breaks down. You didn't really have an elite athlete in Jackson Arnold. I felt like Jackson Arnold was an okay athlete, but he wasn't really that creative at being able to buy time for receivers to get open. He wasn't the he wasn't the same kind of quarterback that John Mateer is in terms of making guys miss in the open field with his agility and his wiggle. John Mateer, I really wish Miami would have landed him because he's going to do a fantastic job with Oklahoma this year. This is a dangerous team this season. Their potential with John Mateer possibly could be winning the SEC this season because the SEC is wide open. You can't look at the SEC anymore and say that, yeah, this team is a lock to win it, because the gap between the best teams, the middle of the pack teams, and the worst teams in the SEC is not that wide anymore thanks to the NIL and the transfer portal. So Oklahoma has just as good as a shot with John Mateer at quarterback at winning the SEC this season as what Alabama, Texas, Georgia, what any of the other schools who are favored to finish in the top half of this conference do. Oklahoma is a really dangerous team this year with the addition of John Mateer out of the transfer portal. This is going to be one of the most impactful, if not the most impactful transfer portal pickup out of any team in college football when the 2025 season concludes. John Mateer is a really good quarterback. A lot of people don't know about how good this guy is from a national level, but you quickly are about to find out because he's going to set the SEC world on fire, and he's going to have Oklahoma being talked about the same way Cam Ward had Miami being talked about. The only difference is you hope that Oklahoma doesn't end up fizzling out the same way the Hurricanes did, but Brent Venables is a better coach than what Mario Cristobal is, just in my opinion. So I'm really confident that John Mateer is going to make Oklahoma the most dangerous team in the Southeastern Conference this year. This is a team that nobody really is talking about for being a playoff team. They're not even ranked in most of the way too early top 25 polls, which is really unusual because normally Oklahoma is always rated as a top 25 team heading into the season. So John Mateer has the capability to shock everybody with how good he's going to make Oklahoma this upcoming season.